naira, not be million, 2 billion naira for vehicle purchase for SSAs. That is senior special assistant to the minister in 2025. This is not the minister's cars. In the same breath, federal government, federal government is to prosecute terrorists with 780 million naira. Then they will buy cars for other SSAs with another 2 billion naira. That's another conversation entirely, right? But let's move on to other gist. Islamic group has made a U-turn. They've postponed the Sharia court that is unveiling in Oyo State. This raised a lot of uproar yesterday across social media that, Sharia in Oyo State and all that. But we'll get straight to that very soon. We'll move on to other issues. Agbadorians, Tinubu promised food, but Nigerians living in hunger. APC chieftain, you know him now. Onokwasa said so. Okay, I'll let you in on that as we move on. Now, speaking about the APC, the Edo State Governor Kwebele has said that, look, in case of the local government autonomy that people are talking, forgive me, my voice is a bit hoarse because it's down. I'm down. He says, Nigerian constitution recognizes only 2 tiers of government. Only 2 tiers of government. So only the federal and the states. The local government, they don't recognize them. But wait, is it not the same federal government that went to, that gave us this, went to the Supreme Court to get this LG autonomy that we're talking about? Well, we'll look at that and what is really brewing in Edo State. Okay. Then we'll move on. Good news. Farotimi released today, but he did speak. Okay, that was not a press. They said don't talk to the press. It was just that there was some cameras around where he was talking it, and he made it to the press. It's not a press statement. I don't know if it will pass as a press statement. However, he spoke and he said, "I've never lied against anyone." So he says, but the defamation means that you lied about somebody now. Then you say you've not lied. Is he maintaining his ground? Oh, look at it. So people will say, what is giving him the mind, the liver to maintain his ground? Oh, look at that. You do remember that some lawyers from had gone to courts to LPDC to seek for his debarment. That is removing him from the bar, from debarring him, right? Well, the LPDC have replied to those people and says, hey, there are reasons why we cannot debar him. I'll let you know that too. And sad news today. Court remands on his ex-wife Oriyomi and principal over Ibadan Stampede. That is also in the news. Yeah, because these are the hot topics that we have. Let's take a quick breather. When we return, we'll begin to. Should we even take the breather, or should we just go straight to the conversation? I think it's just right to go straight to the conversation. Right. Okay. So, the federal government has earmarked over 780 million naira for prosecuting terrorism-related cases, anti-money laundering initiatives, and other criminal matters in 2025. Now the money will go use spend them to use buy fair, carry them go court, to use get lawyers who go talk on the behalf of the government and all that. That's not the money. Abi? Okay. Now according to the 2025 appropriation bill, 530 million has been allocated for the management of terrorism-related cases and issues, and 2 billion naira for the purchase of vehicles for senior special assistants. I wish you can say I'm smiling. Senior special assistants, they go buy car for 2 billion only. Additionally, 100.99 million naira will be directed towards anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing measures, while 150 million naira has been set aside for the prosecution of criminal and related matters. People have been asking, Shibi, what are we doing with our money? Let me just leave that preamble there, because if I go deeper into this matter, I would see a lot of things that we're not comfortable with. But moving on, joining me in the studio is Prince Francis Chilaka. Prince Francis Chilaka is a social and political affairs commentator. Prince Francis, good evening, and thank you so much for obliging me on a Christmas Eve. I know you'd rather have been with your family and, marrying. Merry Christmas.
I wish you the same.
Well done, sir. Let's hear you.
We can't sleep, we can't close our eyes, we can't stop talking.
Thank you.
Because if we stop, things will go bad. Even though we keep talking and they hardly listen to us, or they hardly want to reason with us, but we can't stop. We must keep talking because we love this country and because we are patriotic.
So now looking at this, the Ministry of Works also proposed a budget of 2 billion naira for the purchase of official vehicles for senior special advisors. This is different from that of the federal government. 2 billion naira for senior special advisors for the Ministry of Works. at a time when we should be managing, even though the president spoke yesterday. First, I'd like to know your take, pick your mind on the president's media chat yesterday, because it addressed most of these issues. Remember when he was asked about cutting cost of that governance, what his response was in terms of also cutting the size of his cabinet, what his response was. So I'd like your take on that.
Let me start by looking at the president's scolding of some media house and some journalists that gathered. For me, it was a jamboree.
You call it scolding?
Yes, it was.
Why so, sir?
It wasn't. It wasn't a media chat. If it was a real media chat, there are certain questions we expected, and there are certain kind of people we had expected to be there, but obviously they were not there. So the people you have there, they just came there for jamboree, and and your president spoke just the way he's expected to speak, the star boy that he is. He had a field day, and if you notice, he wasn't answering the questions directly. He had something he needed to say, and he just said it, and it ended there. So for me, it wasn't a chat. It was just for him to dictate and tell people what he wants. Ordinarily, Mr. President shouldn't have wasted our time and his own time. He would have just asked Bayo Ononoga to issue a press release, and that would have,
So are you saying that the president did not quite address the concerns of Nigerians and the questions posed to him by
the same
journalists?
president that is telling you to learn to manage? He was very sarcastic when he said he met a friend of his who had 4 cars and and all of that. And then you ask yourself, if somebody had 4 cars and has been reduced to 1, what does that tell you? It tells you that there is poverty in the land. It tells you that the policies of government are not working. Because government is meant to create an enabling environment for our citizens to thrive. And if the citizens are not thriving, then it means that the government has failed. And that is what it is. There is no need painting it red or pretending, but that is what it is.
Okay. So I'd like to know again, you're saying that the president really did not address...
You see, when people say really address, what did he address? He told you, one, what brought all this suffering on the Nigerian people? Removal of fuel subsidy. And Mr. President told you without blinking an eye, he says, look, I have no regret. I owe you no apology for what I've done. That is one. When you talked about the issue of corruption, Better Edu was there, his case has been there, it's been glossed over, nobody's doing anything about it. When they talked about probing the service chiefs that have gone before now, he said no, he will not probe them, even probing the current one. He says he will not probe anybody, that he has confidence in them. So when a president talks like that, how do you think the president wants to fight corruption? There's no way this presidency is ready and willing to fight corruption.
All right, so Jesu Tega Onokwasa, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, has admitted that the ruling party under the leadership of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has failed millions of Nigerians who bought into the promise of Mr. Tinubu to make food abundant during his election. In fact, quoting him in an interview earlier today, he did say that, I think the real problem is that we have just failed in producing food to our citizens. When we were campaigning for this administration, people were calling us Agbadurians because our president was always talking about producing food. Unfortunately, we don't seem to be producing food. We just have to accept that's our fault. It's a shame that we allowed crisis to skyrocket. He went on and on. Do you see this as an admittance that the president perhaps has failed in the aspect of food production? But the president did say something. When they asked him that question, he said he'll keep supplying. Even when they asked him about price control and all that, he did say that he doesn't believe in price control. So do you believe that the president properly addressed the issue of food provision and availability in his media chats?
Let me start by saying, I have always said that when I think it's there's this agency responsible for protection of consumers, and if you recall, a few months back or three months back, if I remember, they were talking about price control. They were talking about going from market to a market to force people to sell at a particular price. And I said something here, and I said that you cannot begin to talk of price control when you do not have alternative for the people. So, yes, Mr. President is right when he says he doesn't believe in it. Not that he doesn't believe in it, but he's, they just believe of idea of how to go about it. That is on one side. And talking about food, the reason why we're talking about food insecurity in Nigeria today is because of the insecurity in the land. If this government has addressed the issue of insecurity, provided protection for the farmers to go back to their farms, for those living in IDP camps to go back to their ancestral homes, we will not be here talking about food insecurity. You will also remember that this government, in trying to ensure that there is food available for the people, said they were going to give waivers for the importation of grains. What has happened to that? Nothing.
And they're yet to address that.
Nothing has happened to that.
It's supposed to be like a 5 months, 6 months waiver.
It was once. I think it was about 150 days or 180 days.
Yes.
It expired. They extended it. It's expired. So this government keeps talking with little action, and that's a big problem. And you saw how Mr. President was very arrogant when he's talking to Nigerians, forgetting that power rests with the people. In other words, your leaders will tell you your sovereignty is only with you when and before you vote them into power. But after voting them into power, you lose every iota of your sovereignty. And then they do whatever they want to do. It is very, very sad that people are talking of hunger, people are talking of poverty, and the core reason why this whole thing started is the removal of fuel subsidy on the 29th of May.
Which the president says he doesn't regret.
So if he doesn't regret it, what else do you want? What else do you think anybody will say that will move this presidency? Nothing. And that's a very sad one.
All right, so let's take a listen to what Kenneth Okonkwo had to say about some of the policies of this administration and the president's style of addressing these issues. He did say that earlier today in an interview with Channels Television. Take a listen, because
into the unokwasas of this world, he would have been performing better in office. But he's listening to people who are telling him he's excellent. And he will come to the whole world to be saying he's calling himself excellent on the graves of about more than 70 persons that died on the eve of that score to himself because of food. What is the level of conscience that we need for a man to be compassionate for his people? Look, the facts are there. Facts are sacred. This same president, when he was told about corruption, how to fight corruption, he said, I will fight corruption. We are fighting it. How? We increase the wages of the people. We are allowing people to go to school, education. Let me tell you, corruption since the fall of man in Garden of Eden is innate in human nature. And the only thing that can deter people from being corrupt is deterrence, punishment for corruption. This president has just revealed intent to punish anybody that is corrupt in his administration. The only thing that will make him to punish anybody is when you are no longer loyal. And it happened with the humanitarian ministry. I was here when I have those people been tried? You suspended, you removed. Has that person been tried? Now, when he talked about he is increasing the wages of people, when this president came in, the minimum wage in Nigeria was $60 per a person. Today is about $46 per person, less than $2 a day. And then you're talking about you're fighting corruption by increasing minimum wage, when actually the value of the minimum wage has reduced. That means he is actually increasing the propensity for corruption. Because you talk about currency, not in the quantity of it, but in the quality of it. $1 has remained $1 since I was born. The value of it changing maybe about 6% or 10%. More than 56 years of my existence on earth.
All right, I'd like you to react to what do you totally agree with what Mr. Okonkwo said in this interview, that the president didn't quite address these issues, from the corruption issue to making life a bit better for the people. He did address the issue of minimum
go up. So in other words, they claim to have been deceived, but the presidency has come out to say there was no time we had that arrangement. So there's a lot of deception in this government. A lot. And it's really, really wrong, bad for us, because if you're looking at minimum wage at 70,000 per annum, how much is a bag of grain? How much is a bag of rice? How much is a bag of curry? How much is fuel per liter? So at the end of the day, you find out that the minimum wage makes no sense at all. It is, like Idi Amin would say, or like they said during the Idi Amin time, that the money has become shit money.
This stampede happened in the east. It happened in the west. It happened in the north. That means it's now a general thing that Nigerians from all sectors are hungry and things are hard. They did not die in stampede because they were poor. Poverty exists in every country. They died in a stampede because they were desperately hungry. In other words, they know that if they don't have that food, they don't even have anything to fall back in their house. And that is why they had to struggle for 5,000 naira and for grains of rice. The worth of life in Tinubu's government is now about 5,000 naira, and it's about grains of rice. Look at what happened in Abuja, in the Catholic ministry. They've been doing that for decades. They've been doing that for years. Why is today's own different? It is different because people have become desperately hungry. When people say negligence of the people organizing it, people that were expecting like 500 persons and they saw 5,000 persons, they wouldn't have reasonably assumed that 5,000 persons will come. And when the 5,000 persons came, they would have been able to organize themselves if they were not desperate. But because they were desperate, they did not wish to ever live there without having anything. Having seen that more people came, they knew that some people would live there without anything. So they had to now struggle to make sure that they are part of the beneficiaries. That is a sign of a failed state, struggling and dying for the most basic necessity of life, food. When the president visited Lagos the first time, his own people started it. We are hungry, sir. And he said things are well. His dim-wit fellow people that are serving him will go to him and say things are well. And when he neglected those signs, by August, the whole nation, they were protesting for hunger and hardship. They neglected it. In December, people are now dying of stampede for food for 5,000 naira. Now, and he said, it is the fault of the organizers, fault of the people that want to help. You are incompetent government that cannot cater for the security and welfare of its people. Now again, let's move into the issue of cost of governance.
We'll get to the cost of governance, but I want to get Mr. Nokpasatu.
All right, you heard that. Yeah. Would you like to I'm detailing this for a purpose, because it's proper that we, give room for fair hearing, and then for Nigerians to decide for themselves what really is working for them and what's not working for them. So
when we talk about this whole thing about this stampede and all of that, Precious, this is not the first time people share palliatives. I run a foundation and we do it every year. We reach out to people. We go from one church to another. We go on the street. But this year we're not able to do it. We're not able to do it because the number of people out there asking, demanding, needing things are too many. So we seem to forget so quickly in this country. A few months back, when the federal government came up and said they were going to sell, 25 kg rice for 10,000 naira. Even though people were meant to pay and pick it up with their cash, you saw the stampede that happened in customs.
Yes.
So this whole thing about stampede it simply shows that people are hungry And people need food. Ordinarily, before now, I mean, last year, people did share food items. Did you see any Stampede? Because as at that time, the economy was not as harsh as it is today. So I agree with Kenneth Okonkwo that yes, the people are hungry. Not only are they hungry, they are desperate.
Now, the Edo governor claimed that the constitution only recognizes two-tier federal system, doubling down on his suspension of the council chairpersons. The Edo governor, spokesperson Fred Itwa, insisted that the suspension of the local government heads by the Edo House of Assembly at the behest of Mr. Kwebele is constitutional. How do we find the balance to this?
Well,
understanding that Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, who is son, by the way, is the one who went to court to seek for this autonomy from the Supreme Court, and his own, I don't want to say his party, yeah, he's an appointee of APC, so he's an APC by that's, if you look at it that way. Understanding that now someone from the political party at the center is now saying that, look, I can he's the first person to disobey ruling.
If you recall, when the Supreme Court gave the ruling granting autonomy to the local government, there was a cold war between the governors and the presidency, and the governors rejected it vehemently. When the governors saw that the presidency was being adamant, what did they do? They started organizing local government elections. Mm-hmm. Just to see how they can have. It's all about control. It's all about control of the resources meant for the local government. So what is playing out now is that between the Attorney General of the Federation and the Governor of Edo State, they have to go back to Supreme Court for that part of the Constitution to be well translated and defined. And that is why I keep saying that document is an obnoxious document. That document should be shredded. We should, at this age and time in Nigeria, have a document that is easily understandable to everyone. Not a document that in one breath, it says you can do this. In another breath, it says you cannot do this. It is the same document that says once you decamp from one party into another, you automatically lose your seat. And then on another breath, the same document says that if you decamp due to crisis in your party, the first one does not hold water. So we need a document that says A or B. You either do it this way or you do it that way.
Okay. All right. So that means we haven't seen the last of what's coming up in Edo State.
No, obviously, but you see, I think the Edo State government also have a point. A few months before he did his own, the Lagos State House of Assembly suspended a local government chairman. Ali Mosho, yes. So what did the Attorney General say at that time? What did he do? Was he not on radio? Was he not on TV?
But that was on a case of corruption. That's
no, it doesn't. No,
it doesn't matter.
The point is that who suspends who? We need to. These are
the
things
state, because they're independent. The state shouldn't have had the power.
So we need to know who suspends who. That needs to be. There has to be a clear cut, and it's because there are no clear cut as to the role of the local government. That is why the state governors keep trying to subsume them.
All right, let's get straight to other issues very quickly. Now to Dele Farotimi's issue. As human rights advocate, Dele Farotimi, more like people are calling him a defiant human rights advocate, has been released from the correctional centers. But he did say something upon his release. You recall that last week at a magistrate court in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, granted Farotimi bail conditions including 30 million naira bond, 2 sureties, one of whom must be a property owner in Ekiti State. The submission of Farotimi's passport and a prohibition of Farotimi's granting media interviews once released. However, addressing media personnel after his release, Farotimi said he had never had any cause to lie against anyone in his life, adding that whatever he had said about someone or an institution was true. Could this be him granting an interview? That's what many will say. And let's quickly take a listen to him saying that, because he did say just a little bit more than that. Let's take a listen. I do hope that network would let us do that, because network has been a bit crappy today. Let's take a listen.
I need all of you to know is this: I am not unmindful of the sacrifices that you have made to be here today. May the grace of God find and locate you wherever you are. Amen. It is not ever an easy journey when you are fighting evil.
Yes.
At all. But some years back, before I started this work, God told me very clearly, and I heard it very clearly. He says, once have I spoken. Once has he spoken, twice have I heard. He says, the truth is enough. It is the only weapon by which you can slay the monster called Nigeria. The truth, nothing else. In my public advocacy, in my fight and my wars against this evil empire that we all live in, I have never lied against anyone. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. That's true.
Do you see this worsening his case?
Well, let me quickly say this. For those of us who have followed the late fellow to me, closely, he's one of those Nigerians you cannot cage, and that is the truth. Fellow Femi Dele is more like he resonates like Fela Nicola Kuti. So for you to cage a man like that, a man who for years has been speaking, he's used to speaking, he's used to talking, how do you want to cage him? But I'll tell you, this whole thing, for me, this whole fight is not about Dele and Baba it's not about him and Babalola Areba. Sure, that's what they call him.
Are Afe Babalola.
Are Afe Babalola. It's not about him. I think it's about him and his personal experience and the judiciary system. See, this book he wrote, I've not gotten a copy because right now it's difficult getting a copy. But I've read excerpts of the book, and I'll tell you this for free. What he wrote is his personal experience that he's putting in writing. So it's not like saying, Precious told me and I wrote. No. He's writing his personal experience. Has he lied in writing it? Has he added things he shouldn't have added? Well, by the time the case properly resumes, we will know.
He's insisting that he's never lied against anyone before.
So that means that he has concrete evidence of what he's saying. But Precious,
Sir?
this book would have gone unrecognized because Nigerians hardly read. And even when Nigerians read, a lot of people don't have probing mind. Yes, they don't. They don't have the probing mind to say, what is in this book? This book.
Are you saying that we just gloss over and then move on?
Exactly. But you see, when the police decided to use their brute force, because they're called the Nigerian police force, to, in a gangsterism way, to arrest him, people started asking questions. What is in this book? Is there dollar in it? Is there pounds in it? And that was when people got very curious. And that was when the book, went off the shelf. And that was when people started, downloading the soft copy and all of that. So if Afe Babalola had kept mute and pretended nothing had happened, nobody would have raised an eyebrow. But because, the way he went about it is the reason why everybody is now interested and looking to read that book.
Okay, so what do you see this leading to? We do hope that this won't put him in further trouble. That's what people are saying. Understanding that this is more like him going against one of his bail conditions.
Well,
But would he have stopped? Would he have resisted speaking to people? Because the press came to him, he didn't go to them.
Well, for me,
Can this be classified as even giving a granting interview?
He didn't call it a press conference.
Okay.
He was actually praying. He was praying for those who came to do solidarity with him. Except the judgment also says he shouldn't pray. He should just keep moving. He shouldn't talk. What the judgment says, he should not indulge in press conferences, social media and all of that. But for me, he was just praying for people who came to do solidarity with him. And he was telling them that, look, I have never lied. And he cleverly did not talk about the case. So it's...
All right, interesting. But moving on with this case, the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, LPDC, has adduced reasons why it cannot revoke the license that allows the embattled controversial author, excuse me, and activist Dele Farotimi to practice law in Nigeria. The legal body held that it lacked the requisite jurisdiction to delve into issues relating to the allegation. His name from the role of legal practitioners in the country. In the 90-page petition dated December 6 and signed by a partner in the firm, Mr. Ola Faro, Farotimi, it was alleged that Farotimi violated certain provisions of the rules of professional conduct for lawyers in his contentious book titled Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. But LPDC says that, we don't get hand in this or no. In fact, they're saying that they fail to observe good faith and fairness in dealing with other lawyers in respect to cases already decided by the Supreme Court. They said quite a lot. So now that the LPDC, the Disciplinary Committee for Lawyers, are saying that they won't debar him, how further do you see them pushing the case?
Well, if you remember a few weeks back, I remember I told you that it was going to be difficult, it was going to be impossible to debar him. I was very clear on that. I said it to you, and I'm happy it's fanning out this way, because if we must follow the tone where we say people must be disbarred at the slightest infringement, a lot of lawyers would have been disbarred. A lot of lawyers who represent those who have been stealing our national cake. A lot of lawyers who have been representing murderers and drug kingpins and all of that. So we've noticed lawyers come to court where their client faints. Fainting, where people, after stealing money, they carry clutches and sometimes they even carry them on stretchers into the court. So for me, I think the disciplinary body has done the right thing. If they had gone ahead with it, it would have been too early to do such a thing when the case is already in court. So I think they've done the right thing. Let us see how the court process pans out. And then if at the end of the day the court finds Dele guilty, I'm sure they will ask him to do the needful. They'll ask him to do the prayers of Afe Babalola.
Excuse me. All right. So moving on. Excuse me. I'm really choking. So I'd like to know your take about the remanding in prisons. The initiators of the giveaway that caused the stampede in Ibadan.
Honestly, I don't understand the rationale behind that. Except the government is saying, or the police is saying that they had a hand in what has happened, but I don't know why they are remanding them. It doesn't sit well with me. I don't understand why you are remanding them, because there was no point in time where they asked the people to, begin to scramble for food and all of that. These are people who are trying to help this government, as far as I'm concerned. They are trying to help this government to be able to feed the people. So I don't understand why they'll be remanding them. It doesn't really add up. But you see, with this, it simply means that a lot of Nigerians would stop doing charity as well.
All right, Lagos phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations raised tonight. 0700 903 903 903. Please forgive me. I really have a flu. Forgive me. I had to struggle to make this happen today. Okay, phone lines are open. Let's take your thoughts, your reactions, and the conversations we've raised tonight. And let's take a quick breather. When we return, we'll begin to take your calls and reactions after the break. Stay with us.
From the views on the streets,
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Nigerian Customs Service, they throw away this greeting. For this Christmas, our Oga Patakpata, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, on behalf of officers and men, they wish every Nigerian Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. As we they protect we borders and they support we economy, we they pray say this joy for this season go full your house nyafu nyafu. I beg, make we they obey the law, make this season sweet for everybody. From the Nigerian Customs Service family, we dey throw away love, peace, and happiness to everybody. We dey wish you now Merry Christmas and New Year with plenty prosperity. This message now from the Public Relations Unit of Nigerian Customs Service to everybody. We dey wish you now Merry Christmas and New Year with plenty prosperity. This message now from the Public Relations Unit of Nigerian Customs Service.
All right, Lagos, welcome back. It's still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Prince Francis Chilaka is still with me in the building. Phone lines are now open. Let's start to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we've raised tonight. I probably may not do much talking today, but, take more of your calls. So please do less SMSs and more calls so that I can talk to as many people as possible since I'm a bit indisposed. I hope you understand. Thank you. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Madam Precious.
Sir?
And Naka. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Compliments, my brother.
Well, I want to wish you all Merry Christmas
Merry
and a
Christmas
prosperous
to you.
New Year in
Thank
advance. You have Alexo here.
Alexa, you're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to talk about this Stampede. Yeah, when you're organizing things like this, you should learn to manage the people, irrespective of the amount of people coming, because you need to add extra in case. There are some people that are Mugbomoya.
I hear I stop by.
They might be passing that place. I say, what's happening? And people tell them, people are collecting things here, and they want to attach with them. The blame goes also to those organizing such things and also to the people themselves. Let's be sincere. In Nigeria, I've noticed that people lack patience when it comes to, trying to make them happy. Yeah, we all know there's hunger in the land, but Nigerians lack that patience. Let me see. I was somewhere on Saturday where they also gave things to people. You understand? And I will thank God, but there was reorganization there. But the people were not really want to follow the rules and regulations. But because there was police and military, they have to obey. Even within that same kind of setting, some even wanted to prove stubborn. So you see, Nigerians, I don't know. it's really a mess when you have a country like this and people are not really doing the right thing. As for the president coming to talk, Mr. Prince have said it. Did he really address the problem? And as for Kenneth, he's not eating what is he has vomited, Abi. Shebi he was supporting Tinubu.
No, Kenneth never did. Are you talking about Onokpasa?
Huh?
Are you talking about Mr. Onokpasa, not Kenneth?
Is it not Kenneth Congo you played his soundbite?
Yes, I did. But was he ever supporting the president, this administration? I'm not aware of that.
He supported him now.
Are you serious?
We all know now. He supported
Kenneth
this
did not
government.
support.
That's what I'm asking you.
That supports this.
It was Onokpasa that did. That is still an APC chieftain.
Oh,
it's important that it's important that we get it right so that we don't misinform the people.
It's the APC chieftain I wanted to talk of. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening,
sir.
It's Koboko from Otasam.
Oh, Koboko, you're welcome.
I greet you and the Tachilaka.
Merry Christmas. So if you greet me, if you call, just wish me Merry Christmas. Make a chop that one first before I find rice tomorrow.
Thank you. Just that I must not have strong because I'm feeling for people that died.
Hi, sorry. Now so me self they feel.
And I greet I'm wake up and I like the answer and carry to Congo. And I greet my mentor, except that I'm sick, and for some I go holiday for the house. This can be described as a method by which a series of pain and disease can be lessened. If Nigeria is a war, I have a palliative in my life because it's on palliative. High cost of fuel, high cost of doing business. Sister, I told you I don't feel very well because I used to pay double. You know, not take your budget. Government, you don't feel very well against waiting for the men. We have 44 natural resources untouched, and the land is untouched from the chemical to manager, and everywhere. And Nigeria government is telling me that our geology and our governments are not a problem. It's a technical and technical propaganda. It's a thing like I have said it out. Any judge that is clean. So the swear without a superpower and the show go, he has clean. What happened in 27th of October 2016, the answer chief judges. What happened in 14th of January 2020, when they removed number one and put it on bar. So, Nigeria judges, I'm crying for. Concerning Nigeria police, did you know what Nigeria said? Did you see what police? Thank you very much. I'm speaking.
Thank you so much. Even though I don't hear some of the things where you talk, but thank you. I appreciate you, Mr.
Well, I think we need to understand one thing about this Stampede stuff. The government is doing everything within its powers to shift blame to the organizers, and they're selling a narrative to the people that organization was poor and all of that. But you and I know that people before now have shared food at Christmas, especially, is a time where people share things. We've never had it this tough. We need to understand that the number of hungry Nigerians have quadrupled over time. So people are desperately looking for food. They're desperately hungry, and even Mr. President, who says he does palliative, if he decides to share food in Bodilon tomorrow, he will still see a stampede there.
Oh, all right. Thank you. We'll have someone on hold. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Precious.
Hi, welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, Prince.
Good evening. Compliment.
Yeah,
this is Remy, right? Remy, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes. Merry Christmas in advance.
We wish you the same.
Even though you know, see chicken by. On the issue of parrotiny, I've been listening to different platforms, and the usual APC Hallelujah boys saying parrotiny shouldn't have said anything. Since you understand the case is still in court, is sub judicia, because the word they are using. But they were in this country when senior lawyers were going from one station to another, prosecuting parrotiny leaving the fact that the case was in court. They were telling us the reason why he's guilty of a case that is yet to be decided by a court. They didn't tell those guys not to speak. We saw what SANS were saying on different stations about Farotimi, nailing him to the wall. Even the legal representative of what's his name? Balola, telling us that he will be in prison until he proves otherwise. So they are like telling us they've probably decided. Nobody told them that the case was sub judice. But now that, if I were Farotimi, do you know what I'll do? When I get home, I'll get ring light, get my phone. I shouldn't speak to media. And I won't do that. I can easily do that in my room, record the video and post it on the internet. It doesn't mean I've spoken to the media. Does it? No. So if I were him, I'll just get a ring light, get my phone, and speak whatever I want to say, so long it is within the ambit of the law. So I'm expecting him to do that. On the issue of Stampede, we can live in denial all we want, but the fact remains there is hunger in the land. It is a fact. What the president did yesterday was trying to gaslight, just as his supporters. All they do is gaslight you, make you see reasons why you are at fault when they understand they brought this problem upon us. Different churches, different programs, different concerts happened over the past few months. I never heard there was Stampede. But naturally, when people are looking for what is limited, naturally go to IDP camps across the world, there will be Stampede because they understand that thing is limited. And they understand if they don't get it, they won't get it. So that is natural, just like Kenneth Okonkwo said, some things are innate to human. So you might say, hey, we are not organized, we are not this, we are not that. Whenever something is limited, and people understand it is limited, first to get on, and they go to do. I even heard some parents threw their kids across the fence so that they can get some of the things they were sharing. That was how bad it was. Was it like this few years ago? Precious. 24th of December had never been like this for me. And most homes, I believe. We all understand the facts out there. They can tell you the organizers are this and that. Okay, when customs sold, it wasn't free. They sold rice a few months ago. There was Stampede.
Exactly.
Whereas a custom officer arrested, but they locked up. Nothing happened. That in Abuja and other states now. Have they arrested anybody? So they can choose to blame everybody except themselves. Buhari did it for 8 years. Nobody started. And it's going to last as long as he's on seat. Good evening.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello?
Hello, good
yes,
evening.
Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, my name is Paul. I'm calling from Isheri.
Paul, you're welcome. Go ahead.
I want to comment on this Stampede that happened last Ibadan.
Go ahead.
I don't want to blame the organizer or the government. Let us blame the people. What I see there is this longer growth of it and greed in the part of we masses. How will you go to a place and you saw crowd there, you enter the crowd? What if that event is not hold? Will people not survive? If the organizer decide not to make that program happen for the year, will they not find a means of surviving? So I don't blame government for that. I blame we masses. We are so impatient. We want to get whatever I want by force and by fire. And greed is another issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let me quickly chip in on this. When people talk of talking about greed, talking about the people, sometimes I ask people, if you're a married man with a wife and kids, you have 3 kids, and your children are hungry, you can do anything to get food for them. I don't think anybody who has enough food in his house would wake up as early as 3 a.m. Some people go as early as go and sit down waiting for them to share food. We need to understand that, in dealing with this thing, there has to be a lot of emotional intelligence. It's not that people are greedy. It's just that people are hungry. And people are looking for every means to satisfy that hunger. And we know that this hunger is as a result of the bad policies of this government. And the government needs to admit it. When you admit something, then we begin to find a solution. But for the government to try to shift that blame is what I do not agree with.
Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Precious.
Sir, you're welcome.
Yeah, compliment of the season.
Same to you.
Prince, like a compliment of the season.
I wish you same.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Daniel, and I'm calling from Idum.
You're welcome, Daniel. Go ahead.
I think we should stop blaming people that organized whatever they organized, because we know that this is not the first time that people have been organizing such a thing. I remember a few years back, we did something like this, organizing, for people to come and take free things. I can tell you that at a point, because the number of people that we calculated that was going to come, in fact, almost half of them did not come. So those things, we didn't know what to do. Instead of wasting it, we have to be going to the street, calling people to come and take. When we are begging people, that kind of thing. Some people even think, are you sure that this thing that they are giving them, some people are afraid. Are you sure that this thing, there is nothing behind it and all that?
Exactly.
But now, nobody can even think whether there is anything behind it or not.
Because there's
nobody
hunger.
thinks about that now. Because there is hunger. So how can you blame people? Is it the person that people are organizing, giveaway? Churches are...
Hello. I think I've lost you. Apologies. Hello, good evening. I think you've made your points too. Thank you. Good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Sir, you're welcome, sir.
Good evening, Madam Precious.
You're welcome.
And then I've been going through your program all this while. For many months now, if I'm calling nobody to fix, and this is my first time to get you people. So my name is Chinedu. I'm calling from Eda Akuanjo.
You're welcome, Chinedu. Thank you. Now Prince Francis give you that bell. Yeah?
Okay.
Well done, eh?
Thank
welcome.
you, Mr. Sakilaka. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What I'm trying to say is this. All these things that is happening. The fault is not from the people that went there for the food, because they are hungry. Because you don't have to blame the people that went there for the food. And you don't have to blame the organizers. You have to blame our government. Because the fault is from our government. Because I don't see the reason why that if I am not hungry, another person will be hungry. Then when you see in a street, you will see a person, everybody is begging. Mother is begging, children is begging, father is begging. That is the thing is out of hand. They are now bringing police or military man into this thing now. It's to cause more problems. Is to cause more problems because the people that are doing that thing, they come out to do it willingly. They have been doing it for many years. And nothing is happening. It's in this government now this thing comes up. I'm just begging for people that is doing it. Let them not go back. Let them help people. Because people are dying every day by day. There is no food for people to eat. There's no food for people to eat. There's no any street you will not see a beggar. This one is not that. This is maybe something. One hand is not there, or one leg is not there, or it's not that. A human being, complete human being. Please, people that is helping, let them have to do it for people. Let them continue to do it. Let them not go back. That is what I want to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Prince Francis, well, after taking this call, remember what I told you happened on my 1st of January last year, that the kind of way people gathered me that day when I went for my usual 1st of January outreach, I'd never seen such before. I was afraid that I was going to be lynched. It's just that I don't post when I do charity works on social media because my assistants video that process, but I don't post such. So it's just for my personal use. If you see the way we had to hide inside the car.
I'm asking you a question,
sir.
Do you think you can do the same this year?
I'm afraid.
Next year?
I'm afraid. So I'm taking a different dimension, and that is what I can't even talk about it. So it's really very worrisome. Hello, good evening and welcome. Apologies for putting you on hold. Are you there? Good evening. Hello? Hello, good evening. Are you there? I think we lost you. Phone lines are still open, by the way. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello.
Sir, you're welcome. No, help me turn off the volume of your radio set now. It's not good. Sir, you're welcome. Welcome. What's your name, sir?
Good evening. Compliment? Yeah. My name is Opu. I'm calling from Alagwato. I'm from Alagwato.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I want to contribute on issue of two things. One is our presidential start yesterday telling Nigeria to off their switch off their electric their energy. Okay, the man is telling us to switch off our energy so that we should have patience and endure. But the project that is presented to Nigeria, him and his vice president, they are to spend 9.something billion on travel and maintenance and this thing. What are they? What is their entertainment for Nigerians are hungry. One. Two, the talking about people that went for to share food where they're sharing food. If things are good in Nigeria, if somebody leave his house to go and beg for food or to go and drag food for him to see something to eat. Don't you think that Nigerians are hungry? Things are not working. You cannot say that if things are good. So a reasonable human being live in family to go and look for something to eat. My dear, they should go and tell our president. Nobody's advising him. We are begging him. We are hungry. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are crying every day. Go to streets. Go to many places. People are begging. People are hungry. Look at transport. A whole December, 24th December, nothing to show. People are crying. People are crying. Nobody go to market and price a chicken. Even old layers that will normally buy 800 and 1,005. Before you give as a president of Nigeria, they are selling old layers at 3,500. Today, old layers is 10,000. How much is breeder? Don't talk of broiler. Please, a bag of rice is how much? Please, if you tell him, let him help us. We are suffering. We are crying. Innocent souls are crying. People are dying. Until we die, finish our president will do something. He said we voted for him. We agree. Whether we vote for him or not, we voted for him. He's our president tonight. We elected him as the president. What else do you need to be the cry of the students? People are crying every day, complaining to him. Does it mean that he's not hearing us? Please, that's all I have to say. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. God bless you too. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Hello, good evening and welcome. So what's not wrong with this my line now that I will not hear what people are saying now? This is my village triple self. Hello, good evening and welcome. All right, let's see if I can do some WhatsApp messages. I do hope that I can manage if this flea will let me. Okay, excuse me. Precious, good evening. Compliments of the season. Please let the spirit lead you to dash me the thing. There is nothing for Christmas. Oh, Modesta. Modesta. What part of town are you calling from? Okay. Let me see. I don't know the ship that the spirit will take me to. All right. And this is Prince Chilaka and family. Prince Chilaka and VOP family. Whenever I take a closer look at APC and Tinubu's style of leadership, I keep asking where are Nigerians that used to shout and criticize leadership in Nigeria prior to 2015 about corruption and impunity. People complained when Nigeria was in paradise, but gone to sleep when the land is close to hell. This is a big irony I have seen in human existence. That's what he said. Amisha from Mahalo local.
Yeah, but that is the truth. What has killed this country is religion and ethnicity.
Oh, we did not even state that Sharia case, so I was going to state it.
It's a very bad thing that at this 21st century, people are still, being fooled along religious and ethnic lines. Everybody is like, oh, okay, he's our own person. Our person is there. Let him do it. Our turn. Let him do 8 years. Even if everybody's going to die, let it be. He's doing the 8 years. I mean, we've gone past this stage in our development as a nation. And that's why a lot of us keep saying that, we need the best to rule the rest of us to get the best out of us.
All right. Okay. Hello. Good evening and welcome. Hello. Fortunately, I can hear you. Good evening. Okay. So going back to my messages, or maybe just a few more calls. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening, Prince Chinaka, my man of the year, sir. I greet you specially, sir.
I greet you, sir. Compliments.
And sent to you, sir. And our APC spokeslady, our market. Hope you are enjoying your government.
She has resigned.
No, she hasn't resigned, though. She's their spokeslady now. Sir, I would have recommended Precious and Dr. Abatsi and maybe Kunle Okimbaloye to have interviewed Tinubu yesterday. I'm telling you, because that interview was stage managed. I'm sure maybe it will have been scripted by Bayo Ononuga and Co. So that interview, I don't.
What makes you think that the people you mentioned could have done a better job? Would have done a better job. You will have done a better job than that. After you could come APC woman leader,
I would have recommended if he can grant maybe Christian Mampos interview or maybe the BBC journalist interview, it would have been better than that. Now, the thing is, looking at this Stampede issue that we have, three incidents in a week, more than 70 died. It could have been avoided if we didn't have this subsidy removal from the beginning, everywhere upside down. That is number one. Number two, their economic policies, this floating of naira and every other thing, has turned everything upside down, that they have turned the people to beggars and margarine in the midst of plenty. Because of this, their policies and every other thing. And look at it now, we don't have lights, there's no people and things that people can be engaged in to produce money. Now, there's no security. People cannot go to farm to farm. And because of that, people cannot know when people cannot go to farm because of insecurity, and you have to pay before you can enter your farm and every other thing. All those things create all this farming and every other thing. And that's why we are in this mess. That's why you can see people in Ibadan early in the morning, 5 o'clock, going for food. It happened in Nigeria. Even the person who was filming that particular thing was almost crying that it has never happened before. It's unprecedented. I mean, how can this kind of thing happen in the same country? It can never happen. It can never happen. And that's why I'm saying that if the right people, if Yakubu did not have done the right thing, we won't be in this mess.
Supplement of the TV. Yeah, Nigerian citizens are more of it. Yeah. Please, give me, sir. Yeah. All I have to say, pertaining all that people have said here. But if I will suggest We say our whoever that is listening on behalf of the government, they tell people that tomorrow, if you as you say, I've been telling you, it's 25 years ago. Tomorrow it will be cut out by itself. Line up to share something. Whether you come out alive, whether you come out alive.
Who will come out alive?
We should start to share the thing tomorrow.
I don't understand. Well, perhaps that's why the line is not clear. I didn't get what he said there. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Okay, the network has gone haywire. All right, moving on to more messages. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm on medication. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'm on medication already. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. More messages there. This here says, oh dear. It says, good evening. The media chat with the president was an avenue for the president to tell you that no one should tell him what he has heard all this month. He, Mr. President, used the opportunity to show that he is in charge, which looks like he's not. That's what you said. And Almighty God can save us from this, what is going through. Cronus from Momodofi. I couldn't read this message exactly how you read it. But Prince Francis Chilaka, we're supposed to visit this case where an Islamic group under the issues of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, the Oyo State chapter, thought of having the Sharia law established in Oyo State, but right now they have postponed indefinitely that inauguration of the Sharia law, Sharia court, earlier scheduled to be held on 11th of January 2025. This raised a lot of reactions, stating that why should we have consistently adopt this issue where we have different laws working for different aspects of the country, as we have the penal code and the criminal code based on the adoption of Sharia law in some parts of the country. Should he really raise that kind of uproar that he did raise, even though they've not rescinded the decision?
When a man's house is on fire, he does not chase a rat. You see, we need to understand that Nigeria is a secular state. And the earlier we get this into our systems, the better for everyone. I remember when in 1999 or so, when Yarima started, Yarima and the former governor of, the late governor of Katsina State then, when they started this whole Sharia brouhaha, it would have been nipped in the bud. But then because President Obasanjo had a political agenda he was looking forward to, and also the fact that, all those who have become leaders from the South, they seem to have this fear of the North. They seem to feel inferior. It's a better language. And they feel that without the North, they can't come back to power. So they allow a lot of, inanities being perpetrated by the North to continue. For me, we do not need Sharia law in our system. Nigeria is a secular state. Do you know what it will mean if tomorrow we begin to say we are setting up, the religious Christians are setting up different courts to administer to their members or those who believe in their faith. So we need. That's why I keep saying that 1999 document needs to go. Time for it to go. It's when that document goes that Nigeria will have a breath of life.
All right. Okay, so going back to more messages because I still have tons of them. This is, as far as I'm concerned, I don't blame the president. I bluntly blame the INEC chairman and the Nigerians that sold their conscience. This is what you get. As a matter of fact, when you have someone who perhaps is arrogant, that talks as if he owns the entire world, no sympathy, empathy for the people he governs. My advice is that Nigerians should take a decisive decision next election. Taiwo from Otta sent in that message. Oh wow, Prince Chilaka, Mr. Ola from Chicago sent his regards. Mr. Ola, thank you so much for remembering me. Thank you so much. How do I say thank you in Yoruba land? In Yoruba language. Eshekuko. Oluwa bless you. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. Thank you. Unfortunately, I can't give details of that conversation, but thank you very much. You understand. This is because of my January 1 charity visit. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Precious and Prince Chilaka. Precious, when you're... Okay. Oh, see remedies now. Emmanuel from Ikeja, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for understanding. Wilfred from Surulere says, if at this point in time, given all the... You name this something I'm not going to say, that they have spilled out from, that this president has said, you still think and believe that there is hope that Nigeria will get better. My dear brother, make us skip your message and a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to my sister and Prince Chilaka. What is playing out in Ekiti is a classic clash between culture and democracy. Do you believe so? CY from UK sent in that message.
Is it Ekiti or Ibadan?
He said, I don't know. I think
it's about the Sharia law.
I think it's about Farotimi.
Okay.
Okay. And then he says, I'm deeply disappointed by the Nigerian president's recent speech. As an Igbo man, I've already lost faith in Nigeria, but the little hope I had left has been shattered. Despite being in North Korea, I have continued to engage with Nigeria radio and contribute to discussions using VPN. However, after yesterday's speech, I've lost all hope. No lose amo. We need you. I'm considering disengaging from Nigeria's news and stopping my contribution. It seems futile to continue wasting my time and resources on a country that appears unwilling to change. My only remaining plea is for Nigerian government to grant the Igbo people you said so. Thank you, Precious, for your tireless efforts. Thank you. Andy from North Korea, please do not give up. You don't give up. You don't do. You shouldn't. In fact, you mustn't. Don't let me use other grammars. Precious, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. President did not say anything. He was just answering what he wanted to answer and not the answer to the questions. And I don't know why they didn't carry Rufai Oseni, ask him better questions. A president that doesn't have remorse over his people and the pain that they're going through, dying because of hunger. God, come to our rescue. You don't reach when we need you, because I don't know how next year will be like if all of this is happening and there's no remorse. This here says, good evening, VOP, Precious and Chilaka. Just listening. Have nothing to say. Ew, try and have something now. Merry Christmas to you. Francis from Command Road, Ikpaja, sent in that. And Churchill from Surulere says, the president should think out of the box and reduce his flamboyant lifestyle because the hunger is too much. Nigerians are not happy with his policies. Ordinary Cotonou, Togo, and other African countries are laughing at us. Mr. President, he said, and Ruben Abati asked him simple question. The truth you said will set you free. Baba Afe Balola, God is watching. I think you merged 2-3 things together here. Good evening, Madam Precious and the guest. I am highly disappointed in President Tinubu's media chat. They were too shallow, and he should have taken responsibility for his, inactions. You mentioned ineptitude. It was their failure that caused all these killings. It wasn't the organizers' fault. Many Nigerians are greedy. If the government hasn't poorly managed the economy, we wouldn't have come to this level. Those people have the opportunity to help and doing their best to help other Nigerians, but it went haywire. Let the president come from his, come down from his ivy tower and take responsibility for what has happened. Timmy sent in that message. Stephen Akimbisola from Ijego says, I'm disappointed that the erudite journalist interviewed the president failed to ask the president what is happening in our oil industry. It's known that since the removal of fuel subsidy, the economy has been on standstill, and the president is saying that our porous borders can be protected by the security agencies responsible. That is to say that the failure of the government. Can't Nigerians boycott fuel filling stations until Minister of Petroleum does something about it? Yes, thank you. This year Christmas I don't share anything because there are too many and I don't have enough. Oh, sorry. Greetings, Precious and Prince Chilaka. I'm sure that the issues about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu remaining in detention was deliberately removed from the questions to ask the president. Likewise, many other serious questions. Nigeria Nigeria don't enter one chance. Chia Goye from Ilasama just sent in that. Madam Precious, good evening to you and Prince Francis Chilaka. Thank you so much. Good evening. And this says, I knew that whenever Tinubu was going to ask the media pally, was going to be a rangy kind of question. You people don't have faith in this country. Why you people behaving like this?
Precious,
I would have loved
faith in this country.
I have, so let me take a call
How
before I
strong is
finish.
your
I'm coming. Let me finish taking a call. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
I greet Sinaka.
I greet you.
Yes, sir. Precious, I'll be calling. Even yesterday, I called you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No vex now. But you know, sir, I don't even know saying that you they call. I don't even know who's calling.
I know. That's why I insisted you must pick my call together. I just got to pick it.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Oba Ezeke, calling from Otaka here. I'm calling from Otaka here, Oba Ezeke.
Okay, Oba Ezeke, you're welcome.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Precious.
Sir?
I don't know where Nigeria the colors go. Where the colors go, we will not know. The people that interview Mr. President, I don't really know what it's like. They write what they go ask them. I say they don't tell them what they go ask them. Because the questions where they ask the young man, the president, they don't really ask the man what motivates me, what I like. I think if they invite somebody like LFI and the Sinaka and the one or two people from your station, I think I will be very happy. So I know that that's the young man question. I don't really confused. So I'm very, very, very annoyed.
Sorry.
So that one is the fact. What I want to say that this December, I don't know how I'm going to celebrate it.
How we take one now? Alpha. Anything for the girls?
The girls.
Osimuhuchi girls.
Very, very hot.
I understand.
I remember last 2 years now, I bought a chicken of 10,000 naira, but I went to market to go and buy chicken today.
You try and chicken a senior boy now.
25,000 naira, 30,000 naira.
Yes, that's true. Not very correct. I just priced one this evening.
I carry my coat. I wear my coat. They say cut your coat according to your size. I wear my coat. I cut it. Come back to house. If my family will manage what we have. Maybe even if whatever. When you go, maybe I'll send them to slaughter. Maybe if they buy me to 2,000 naira, I think it's enough. So Nigeria is going at hand. I don't know where Nigeria will go nowadays. Another thing I want to say, I don't know. I think we have been having presidents. For this Turumbu president now, I don't know what it is. Sheyi Turumbu, I don't know how to put it. We don't know the Sheyi president, and the Turumbu president.
I don't understand you.
There's something that happened at Ogun State, where this man, where they invited, when I went to Ogun State, where they welcome that man, being a Turumbu son, Sheyi, I don't know, his name is Sheyi now. Where they welcome him, the boys said, as in he's a president that comes to the Ogun State. Where them, as in, I was watching the young man say, what? This man, I don't know if Nigeria is, I don't know if this is coming to family issue or whatever. Sheyi is doing his own. Prumbu is doing his own. His daughter is doing his own. Oluomo is doing his own. I'm just. I beg, help me talk to the young man. That Turumbu, Mr. President Turumbu. I beg, you should remember Martis.
Okay.
Yes, from Martis.
They tell you, but you had the media chats where you do yesterday. And I said, necessary painful steps so we're supposed to take.
Necessary what?
You said a necessary painful step who was supposed to take. Mm.
Can I wait him talk with that?
If you never hear and talk am before.
No, I never hear and talk. I hear for your mouth. Now wait him talk with that.
So now maybe your town crier. Now maybe the town crier will go tell you what's in the president talk. You don't talk am before now saying a painful baby steps. You can't talk say that time where would they happy, say would they live large fake life then.
Okay. No problem.
All right, thank you.
2027. People know what will happen.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. I beg you, that small one where you won't cook, even as you know if you buy chicken, help me reach out to people around you when you don't even get rice at all, yeah?
We be say your third caller. So say if you let people will go where they share rice, say they go. See where people plenty, they see put head. If you let people will do salaka, we do people call it salaka. You blame them where they see according to your vice your akpabio. You say that when you see where they are saying food, where they see food go and eat. These people now went to Ibadan to go and many people die. And your third caller was saying blaming people that went where they are sharing food, where they are sharing food. You blame the person. Some people, it's like some people never even. I don't know. But some people never even feed this hunger. Some people never feed this hunger. I think some people never feel the hunger because the hunger in this Nigeria is very terrible.
Yes,
it's some people terrible. It's some people don't.
You deep well.
So
I cup of rice tomorrow for someone who really. So if you have someone around you, yeah, who really doesn't have what to eat, please send their details to me on WhatsApp, and I'm gonna call to verify to be sure, and then I would reach out to the person. Someone who really doesn't have how to manage tomorrow. Please, if you have someone like that, please just send the person's details to me on WhatsApp here 0817-175-6338. Just send it on WhatsApp if you can do that before I leave tomorrow, so that we can all marry together. I know I can't reach out to everyone, but let's see a few that I can help. Let me go back to your messages. So Latinji from Iyenokwaja says, I think we need a gentleman like Jerry Rawlings. Let him come and rescue Nigerians. And Prince Francis Chilaka looks like Jerry Rawlings. All right. Moving on to more messages. Precious, my dearest, please send me Xmas gift for me and my little twin boys to Stampede will never near you. I beg, me gonna leave me. Anyone criticizing the victims of the Stampede by doing that in a privileged position, and I don't pray that what makes those people scramble for free food happen to them. I made it from Mafaluku. I agree with you. Hi, what's the account to your collection, please? Which one is account to collection again? Oh, you know how to reach me now. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, so this here says, good evening, all members of VOP family, Auntie Precious and Prince Chilaka. Babeji from Oshodi says, wishing you Merry Christmas. Please, my people, concerning the Wazobia Stampedes. Wazobia Stampede now. It's a APC's government should take the responsibilities, because if not for their policies, they're biting, causing hardship and hunger, that wouldn't have happened. That's what you said. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, you help me increase the volume of your voice. I give your voice very small, eh?
I've removed it.
Sorry? Good evening.
I've removed the voice. Good evening.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sir?
And the President.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
Well, compliments as well.
Yeah, I just thought to say that we've never seen this kind of government before. It is really unfortunate. I left Lagos yesterday on my way to the east. And the vehicle broke down the road, and we are still on the road. Because of the cost, the amount one paid, one cannot afford to start getting another vehicle. In fact, from close to is it to reserve? The vehicle broke down. After having paid about 42,500 in a luxury. And the other vehicles are saying, okay, 35,000 are back. And the one cannot Getting from here to Aba, then to my hometown, that would be about 100,000 naira. And this government, they are just there apportioning, giving a working budget for schools that they've done before, repeating things again and again in trillions and billions. It's really, really unfortunate that this government seems to be highly, highly insensitive. But we keep on praying that 2027 will come. That Nigeria will not, we are not going to do anything to destroy anything, but we are going to show our anger in how we are going to vote. But unfortunately, I pray that there will be electoral reform because at the end of the day, so these people will not still hijack the system again. That's my own. I wish you the best, and I wish Nigeria the best.
Thank you.
So what I actually wish is that please, that for peace, if Nigerian government love peace in Nigeria and in southeastern part of Nigeria, they should please release Mazen Namdekano.
All right.
Because the man, God has said that he did not do anything. He has become a political prisoner. They should please release him if they actually want development in Nigeria. Because as they hold, they said any part that suffers, every other part suffers with it. Any part that rejoices, every other part rejoices. If such peace is bleeding and injustice, Nigeria can never move forward. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. I see. I didn't see your name here, Victor A. Well, I'll just read out your message in case anyone wants to reach out to you, really. It says, good evening, Madam Precious and Prince Chilaka and all the VOP family. My name is Victor. Please, I'm begging for your kindness to help me get food to eat. I lost my job because our company is no longer in Nigeria. Since yesterday, I've been indoor at home. I don't have anything to eat. Now, the reason I'm reading your message is in case anybody wants to reach out to you for a job. That's why I'm reading out your message, so that they can reach out to you for a job, because I think it's better to give you a job than just to give you food to eat, even though we know that you have to eat now too. So he said you lost your job because your company does not it had moved out of Nigeria. He said since yesterday you've been indoors, you don't know what to eat, that you're thinking about your fate. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Your name is Victor A, right? That's your name. I would personally reach out to you from my own free will, right? And I do hope that other Nigerians can. He even stated your details, but I don't know how they can reach out to you. But you said your detail is 2216741267, and that is Zenith Bank. So I do hope someone can reach out to you. Precious, seriously, Mr. President pretended as if he doesn't know that hunger is ravaging our people. Mr. President, change our system now. I beg. Joe from Bariga. And then Faulkner from UK says, from US says, I think Arise News just dropped the ball. Rafai is the Taliban of journalism, with who is fearless. Dr. Abati is a studio champion, not real Nigerian champion, who cannot challenge politicians with most Nigerian questions. More respect to Rafai. Okay, all right. This year says Prince Francis, the North lost the tradition when they embraced the Fulani Islamic jihadis that drove out their traditional rulers in 19th century. Customary courts doesn't exist in Islamic northern Nigeria, like in all southern and middle belts. It's in its place. They have Sharia courts. He's trying to speak on that conversation. It's a pity that the president is yet to realize that Nigerians are really passing through hell as a result of his anti-people policies. From the removal of fuel subsidy and increase in import duties and many more inhuman policies. However, I want to disagree with the comment that Prince Chilaka made, that people are keeping quiet because of religion and ethnicity. Most of the people who have been criticizing us are from this president's people. Please, it's highly time to stop anchoring every issue on tribal sentiment. Such comments would continue to divide us. Taiwo from Ejigbo sent in that message. You'd like to respond quickly?
Well, when people say such comments, we already see the divide. Except we want to pretend to ourselves that we do not see the divide. We see the divide. You know, they were talking about trains this morning, and I was really miffed. They're talking about trains. What train do you have from any part of this country to the southeast? What is the level of the presence of the federal might in the southeast? So when we talk about nepotism, we talk about tribalism, we talk about ethnicity, we talk about religion, how has the Southeast benefited in all of this? So we can't stop talking about it. People will keep talking about it. There'll still be agitations. Whether we like it or not, people will agitate. So nobody is saying it because we just want to say it, but we're saying it because it's a reality, it's the truth.
Okay. All right. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello. Hello, are you there? Good evening. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Preciosa.
Oh, my sister. Buenos tardes. How are you? ¿Cómo está?
I do. How you doing?
We day fine. It's been a long time.
Nigeria is pressing us too hard.
Sorry, no vex.
Christina, good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. How are you? Compliments.
Compliments of the season. I wish you the same, sir. Preciosa.
Ma?
Yesterday, when the president was doing that media chat, it was as if I should be crying.
Why now?
You can see in him that there's no atom of, this thing in him. No remorse, no. And in the way he spoke that yesterday, I was like, what entered into this man? And tomorrow he will go and be hitting his head on the ground and be shouting, calling God. It's not very good. Look at the way people we are dying because of camping for food. Like me now, I and my children, we don't have anything to eat. Why? Because my daughter that has been seeking her admission, this is the third time, and they finally gave her. Not that she has not passed. If I cannot, save something for her to go, because already she was becoming depressed. I don't want her to miss it this time. So we agreed that anything we see tomorrow we eat, so that all this small money that I'm getting, I'll be gathering it for her, so that after New Year, she'll go and use it and do her registration. Yes. So that the brother is going to 300 level. They don't have a father, it's only me. So that is why. So whether we eat tomorrow or not, anything we see that comes our way, if it is Gary, we drink it like that and say. That is what the people have subjected us to. You people are doing a great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. All the best. Well done. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello, good evening. What was happening to my calls now? Why are my calls dropping? All right, this is where's that message? Please, Mr. President, my question is, what is your honest opinion as regards Southeast security vis-a-vis Nnamdi Kanu's detention? If they ask me, like, say, I'll be the president, so I'll make a happy ask Oga Presido. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Thank you, like I greet you. Good evening.
I greet you, sir.
My name is Shala.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
My name is Shala. Calling from Uganda. Yeah. So, like I see the president's speech yesterday, I was not disappointed. Even when they were publicizing it from afternoon that they were going to have a media chat by 9. Unlike those days when our leader wants to, when he wants to have a 30-a-30 with us, you'll be excited. I knew that there's nothing going to be different. But what pained me the most is the lack of empathy. And for him to repeat it, that he doesn't regret removing that substance. But why I'm even not happy with the journalists there, there are some questions they should have asked. Like, number one, if I was there, I would ask him, sir, you promised your followers that you were going to bring down the price of fuel. And you were among those people that protested against Jonathan when they wanted to remove subsidy. So what changed? What happened? These are questions they should have thrown at him. So in fact, that man is just enjoying himself there. Nigerians, what I just want to say about Nigerians is that I think we deserve the kind of leaders we have.
Why did you do like this? You won't come out trouble now, you just won't cause confusion.
We deserve this kind of people we have. See, this set of people cannot turn this country to El Dorado. The set of leaders we have, forget. I don't believe people that say they don't have hope. There's hope for this country, but not with this set of leaders. It is well. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas. Hello, good evening and welcome. All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, let me just take your pattern shots before I go ahead and hello, good evening and welcome. Good evening, Ada. You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless you.
Thank you.
Our brother Prince Chilaka, God bless you.
Compliments, sir.
Yeah, I wish you the best. My sister, I have nothing much to say. But the only thing I want to, although my name is
yes, go ahead.
Is Victor, but I'm calling from our job site. So the only thing I want to tell you is that hence you have decided to care for people, and I haven't cared for you. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hence your idea is to what?
I said hence you have decided to wipe people's tears. May God wipe tears.
Oh, amen. Thank you.
And you have decided to be a gift to mankind, and I haven't given you a gift.
Amen.
I don't know, and I don't have much to say. That these are my words. My God will lead you through.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
and the unnecessary visitor that you are experiencing before the day breaks. My God will restore your voice.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, Prince Francis. They don't do valedictory service. Thank you so much. Valedictory sermon don't happen. Oh, yeah, close the church. Close case.
No, but,
let's close shop. Thank you.
For me, I would say this to our leaders, either as Christian leaders, Muslim leaders, government officials.
You know what? You would help me hold that thought. Sorry. I hear that we need to go for a quick commercial break, so apologies. Let's do that and we'll be right back to take that pattern shot. Thank you.
There are moments to live, create and make believe. If it ain't graceful like royalty, trust your gut, it's not regal. Feel it flowing through, taste so good, so you let go and let your spirit thrill your senses. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe. We on some chilling things. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a new experience. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. So smooth and rich. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe.
Introducing Regal Deluxe Gin, a new taste for an enjoyable drinking experience. Drink responsibly. Regal, a natural gin crafted for your experiences.
Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The evening rush.
Hear that? That's ice cubes falling into a glass. You're burning for a drink. A shot of that Regal Deluxe will do. You need that smooth chill down your throat. That tingle in your senses that makes you shut your eyes. Before you take a sip, you like to watch the spirit mix with the... You taste it. That right there, that was a smooth moment. A redefining moment. Open your eyes and enjoy the new Regal Deluxe, a gin-flavored spirit drink. Regal. Crafted for your experiences. Not to be sold to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The evening rush with pressure. All right, Prince Francis, that parting shot you were about to
I
give.
was saying that this is a time for love. This is a time when Nigerians should be happy, but unfortunately Nigerians are not happy. This is a time for people to do an account of themselves, and take responsibility. Mr. President needs to take responsibility for everything that has gone wrong in this country. I'm not just telling people to be patient, to endure. He himself needs to be the one who leads forth and others will follow. So I wish Nigerians a wonderful Christmas and a new year with so much blessings.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Lagos. That's the size of our package for today. I see why he's asking from UK if I'm coming to work tomorrow. Abba, tomorrow and Wednesday now. I just in a Christmas day. So yes, I'm coming to work and I'll be with you tomorrow. Hopefully with Prince Francis Chilaka again, because he's the only one I can kidnap to the studio tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you, Prince Francis Chilaka. Thanks immensely for, leaving all that you have to do amidst this festive season and, make that sacrifice to be here to help us speak with Nigerians. I appreciate you deeply. Thank you. Lagos, that's the size of a package. I love you guys. Thank you so much. My name is Precious Inyi. I see that's just small people I won't reach out to. Millions of people don't send me messages, and I won't keep my life like this. So
you're already getting.
I don't get
Stampede
like I don't get Stampede for WhatsApp or radio. Now just few persons I won't help. Just make it even if not to chop roasted corn. So I'll reach out to those people that have taken their stuffs and their details. If I don't reach out to you, don't worry. Hopefully 1st of January, my birthday, I'll reach out to you too. But if I can't reach out to everyone to understand, please, as much as you can, help reach out to someone around you. Even if it's just a little from what you have. God bless you as you do so. I love you guys. See you again tomorrow evening. Good night.